Assalamualaikum. Welcome to another episode of the Infamous Five.
This is what is happening to me the other day. Never mind.
It's just, he's you're a little too serious when you start, and that's what.
But we do end up talking about serious topics. I mean, essentially, the essence of the topics is serious, but what we end up doing.
Okay, before we get on our conversation, let's introduce the new guest that we have in the episode.
So we have a fifth member of the Infamous Five. We have Eliza with us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure all mine.
Yeah.
So what is
that actually remains to be seen. That actually remains to be seen. We'll ask at the end of the show. And anyways, so today what we're talking about is basically a lot of people, a lot of kids graduate out of schools and universities, and they're looking for work, and they are unable to find jobs, and घर बैठे रहते हैं, they're like नौकरी नहीं है, काम करने को नहीं है, and they just basically forget what they've learned, and the passion just dies down. So today what we're talking about is that if jobs are not available, then why don't you opt for entrepreneurship? Why don't you jump in and start doing your own thing, or either volunteer, because that is an excellent way of actually finding jobs. So that's the crux of what we're going to be talking about. We'll start with you, Aisha. What do you think?
I think a lot of the young people have this mindset that entrepreneurship does only mean big business with lots of money in it. That's the general concept that we have. Yeah, that's
they see the factories खुली हुई and all that खुली.
वो उसको entrepreneurship कहते हैं. I mean, why can't you think of, if you're selling something, maybe T-shirts, then that in itself is a business, and you can make immense amount of money. How do you think all these brands have opened up in UK or US, जो हम देखते हैं, जो हम बड़े खुशी पहन के आ रहे होते हैं वहाँ से? Why can't we all do that? So just break out that mindset कि entrepreneurship just does not mean big factories with lots of money in it. No, you can start off with one desk, one laptop, and just internet. I think हमारे set of generation को ये एक बहुत बड़ा advantage है कि internet is there for us for help.
Absolutely. Even.
Not really. She's asking if you're supposed to talk in Urdu or English.
No.
Oh, just go.
Speak in Chinese. They understand Urdu.
Only Adnan will understand.
I can.
Right. So we were talking about entrepreneurship.
I think for you,
can I just add on this? Yeah, entrepreneurship, जो है, it's a very attractive word. Yeah, and everybody is fascinated by being an entrepreneur, but I think it is a lot more difficult, and you got to be a lot more intelligent. Not that, I mean, average intelligence should be a lot more higher if you want to be an entrepreneur.
Why?
Yeah, it's something, first of all, which is completely dependent on you, right? You got to be smart enough to take the right decision, and you got to know your game pretty well.
Yeah.
है ना? तो मेरा ख्याल है कि it is difficult. मेरे ख्याल है it's 100 लोग में आधा एक कोई entrepreneur.
I disagree. I think it's got to do with passion. That is the most important thing. अभी हम शो से पहले we're reminiscing, we're talking about those 80s के गाने and 70s के गाने and Bunny and Vital Signs and all of that. तो Vital Signs को ही आप देख लो. 4 kids at that time in their teens. One was an engineer, one was something else. एक pilot कर रहा था, एक pilot था, जो भी था. So they decided, अच्छा यार, let's just play a gig. They played a gig, and उसके बाद वो जो है it snowballed, and they became pretty much the pioneers of our music. जो हमारा start हुई है राजी हसन थी, and then after that it was Vital Signs in 86, 87, and they completely changed everything.
But
that is entrepreneurship as well.
Is it?
It's absolutely.
Of course it is.
It's a huge business.
As long as your passion is making money.
Yeah, true. But there's this one point that the generation these days, they don't actually know what their passion is. It takes them a lot of time and a lot of different doors to find out what they actually want. So entrepreneurship really isn't an option for this generation because they're so confused.
But then I think I agree. You're saying that they're confused, but then why do we whine about not having job opportunities when you can create one? And you need to be smart enough to get those opportunities.
Because you see, what's happening is these days there are a lot of subject varieties. So people normally choose a subject they actually want to do and they actually want to grow in. So go ahead. I don't think that entrepreneurship.
The thing is that I believe that passion is a key ingredient.
True.
But passion does not necessarily mean कि आपको पता होना चाहिए कि मैंने जो है I'm passionate about say making music. तो मैं बस उसी में कूद जाऊँ मैं करूँ. That is not what I mean when I say passion.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship, I feel, is all about capitalizing opportunities. You should have an open mind and you should see कि यार there's a consumer out there. What is it that he wants? What is it that I can do? What can I sell to him? And then once you decide that and you get into that, you're passionate about that. That does not necessarily mean कि उसमें आपका अपना समझी. Sorry.
एक तो ये बात है कि आप लोग एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के बात करें कि अगर जॉब नहीं मिले तो आप अपना खुद क्यों नहीं कारोबार शुरू कर देते, चाहे छोटे पैमाने भी शुरू करें.
And also that ये नहीं कि वो नहीं मिल रही तो that why is it a second
Exactly. मैं ये कह रही हूँ कि अगर आपने इंजीनियरिंग किया और अगर इंजीनियरिंग का वो जमाना नहीं है, जॉब आपको नहीं मिली, तो आप कुछ और काम कर लें, कुछ और नौकरी ढूंढ लें.
कॉन्सेप्ट आ रही थी कि जरूर हमारे यहाँ माइंडसेट ये क्रिएट भी किया गया है कि आपने जो पढ़ा है आपने उसी में अपना करियर आगे करना है. ठीक है, वही why can't we just go ahead with something that is not being studied by us but something that you know of, something you're passionate about, and you can just create a career out of it. Like you just mentioned vital signs. I mean, they started off it as a fun thing.
एक डॉक्टर, एक
right. उनको गाना पसंद आया, उन्होंने गाना शुरू कर दिया, उनका एक बैंड बन गया and eventually वो commercial हो गया. I mean, I know a lot of people जिन्होंने MBA किया हुआ है, ACCA किया हुआ है, but वो उससे बिल्कुल हट के काम करें तो लोग आके इनको क्वेश्चन ये करते हैं, आपने पढ़ा क्या, आप इस फील्ड में क्यों है? I mean, why do you have to have that mindset? Why can't you just go ahead with something completely different from what you've studied?
मतलब जहाँ हम नौकरी कर रहे हैं वहाँ के भी जो
मैं अपनी बात करती हूँ. I am an HR graduate and I'm not working anything that
I'm a fine arts student and I'm not doing anything related to that.
But वो वाली बात है ना, you guys तो opportunity किसी और चीज के लिए
exactly. तो ये
capitalize opportunity.
Generalize क्यों नहीं हो सकता? I mean, why does it has to be one specific reason? मैं और हिबा एक exceptions होंगे कि हमने जो पढ़ा है हम उससे अलग काम करें. Why cannot it be generalized? Why cannot the entire youth think that way?
Okay, firstly, speaking of capital, see, entrepreneurship is a business, right? There's always a huge downfall and a very good uprising in business. So people don't like to lead an unstable life. They want to be stable and settled. So the first thing that draws you back from entrepreneurship is the instability.
You know, and I think how we are also different and we are still in the developing state while everyone else is developed almost nations. अगर आप UK या US या ऑस्ट्रेलिया या इन कंट्रीज में जाके आप देखेंगे तो वहाँ पे अगर उनको फॉर इंस्टेंस अ स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन बिकम्स अ ट्रेनर, ठीक है, वो उसका एक बिजनेस बन गया, दैट्स द करियर ही वांट्स टू परस्यू, राइट. हमारे यहाँ अगर यही चीज करेंगे तो कहेंगे हाँ बिकॉज उसको कुछ और करना नहीं आता था तो उसने इसी में करियर बना लिया. ठीक है, तो दैट्स व्हाई दे आर डेवलप बिकॉज वो हर चीज में एक अपॉर्चुनिटी बना रहे हैं, उसी में से पैसा भी बना रहे हैं, इवेंचुअली वो इकोनॉमी में जा रहा है.
और जहाँ तक स्टेबिलिटी की बात है तो ये तो आपके आगे जाके आपकी अपनी डिसीजन मेकिंग, आपकी प्लानिंग पे पता चलता है. हमारे यहाँ प्लानिंग कल की होती है, पैसा कमाना सोच रहे होते 5 साल तक का.
Exactly. So at least at the bigger picture, people like to see something that's stable, something not something that will fall down.
एक अच्छी जॉब मिलना is stable.
Yeah.
I mean, is that the perception that we all have?
That is the perception that we have.
Yeah.
I don't completely agree with it.
Right.
Because वो वाली बात है कि नौकरी भी आपकी जो है it's not stable. अभी जो आपका crash हुआ था, I mean like you know there was so many people lost their jobs and all that. So there's no stability as such. Having said that, हाँ एक entrepreneurship के career से ज़्यादा होती है. कि आपके पास हर महीने आपके पास लगा बंदा, you know you will get a paycheck. But having said that, it's not like I feel that अगर आपको entrepreneurship करनी है तो do it at a younger age when you're fresh out of college. थोड़ा बहुत आप जो है experience लें and all that before you have a family. Yes, once you have kids, you have a family and all that, you've settled down, then yes, you do need some sort of a base, you know, an anchor basically. So पर ये कि that does not mean कि आप जो है बोले कि अब मैं अगर मेरी शादी हो गई, हो गया, वो हो गया या होने वाली है तो मैं इसको छोड़ ही दूँ. Because upside उसकी जो है बहुत ज़्यादा है, very high. रिस्क भी है मगर अपसाइड भी है उसकी. द सेकंड इशू, सॉरी
नहीं मैं कह रही थी कि अदनान का डायरेक्शन की तरफ आना भी कोई एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का है.
अभी तक I'm still, you guys have moved so far ahead. I'm still stuck on the first part of the question.
Which one?
Which was when Bilal said कि वो the vital signs music is also being an entrepreneur. So that means sex, drugs and rock and roll is being entrepreneur. That's an entrepreneurial thing, huh?
It changed the entire industry, yaar. I mean, you know.
Yeah, why didn't nobody tell me then? I thought it was just for all these 3 reasons, and I never saw.
I'll tell you why you never saw that, because हमसे पिछली generation and उससे पहले वो ये होता था 60s के अंदर, 50s के अंदर, उससे पहले अगर आप देखो, आप डॉक्टर बनेंगे, आप इंजीनियर बनेंगे या आप लॉयर बनेंगे. उसके बाद फिर आप MBA करेंगे या आप जो है वो अपना BCS MCS जो भी होता है वो करेंगे या वो कंप्यूटर्स में जाएंगे। तो वो एक सेट था कि वही अब म्यूजिक वो अगर अब ये अभी जो somebody wants to go into music it's a very respectable and acceptable profession। आज से 40 साल पहले 30 साल पहले तो वो आपको बोलते हैं मरासी हो तुम।
हम लोग ने यार